I travel all the time. If you know, you know. And so this is honestly more so of like a note to myself of how I should be approaching all of my trips before, during, and after to keep my sanity and stay in my routine. Just doing what I can to feel my best and, just keep everything in line. You are listening to Phone Eats First. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Phone Eats First, a podcast about romanticizing life and finding inspiration inside and outside of the kitchen. My name is Corey May, Corey in the Kitchen. Have you know me? Have you found me? Hi, hello. I'm so happy you're here. Today's episode is going to be all about travel, but more specifically, resetting from a travel. As you know, I'm never home, and I'm always traveling for work or for fun or to go to the beach and see my parents. Like, I'm literally never home. So this episode's just kind of been top of mind because I've gotten back from a lot of trips recently and then had to get ready for more trips. So figured I would share how I kind of reset when I get back from a trip. But first, we will get into the weekly report. So our reading, I'm still reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I'm about halfway through. I'm really enjoying it. I kind of knew I would like it just because literally everyone has said, oh my God, it's the best book ever, but I really am liking it. And I'm about to buy just the rest of the series whenever I can find it because I know when I finish it, I'm going to be ready for the next one. And I think it's 4 books in the series. I'll keep you updated, but so far so good. Eating. I have been eating avocado toast a lot. Not a lot, like 3 times in a row recently. And I think it's one of my favorite foods, especially with a fried egg on top. It is just so good. And especially on my sourdough that I keep in the freezer. So I've got some fresh homemade sourdough, and truly what's better than that? And then a perfectly ripe avocado with salt, pepper, tomato, onion, a fried egg. But I like mine runny, which I know is very controversial, but it's how I like it. And then Texas Pete, Parmesan, the whole 9 yards. It's so good and it's so filling, and I look forward to it on the weekends. Oh God, I just tried to bite the microphone. Come. Yes, good girl. What did you say to the fans? Anything? Okay, good. All right, plan. I am very busy. Tomorrow, I'm recording this literally the day I'm going to release it. Hi, sorry, whoops. But tomorrow, I'm going to Greer, South Carolina for work, but me and SG are going to see Zach Bryan. So that'll be fun. And then we're working the event in South Carolina, but more importantly, I get to leave the event early because I have a wedding this weekend. Shout out Elise and Matt Potts, the future Mr. and Mrs. Potts. It's my college friends, and so all my friends are coming to Raleigh, so I'm so excited. It'll just be a weekend that is good for the soul. Do I have my dress yet? No. So help a girl out. If you can help a girl out, let me know where I should get one. But I just haven't found a dress that's calling my name. So, I mean, I'll obviously find one. I literally have no choice, but yeah. But I'm excited. Okay, I am obsessed with my Peloton workout classes, and thank God, because as you have heard in my past episodes, I've been off the workout game and I'm getting back onto it. I've worked out 3 days in a row. I mean, I walk every day, like literally every day with the dogs, and I know that that's a very good workout, and it does check the box, but I need to do strength workouts for my sanity and for my body, and I'm finally kind of getting back into the swing of things. So I love Peloton workout classes. I've had the app for about 4 years now. Well, it's actually kind of crazy. And I have the bike, if you didn't know. But I actually prefer the strength classes over the cycle classes. And it's great because you can do any length class. Like, they literally have like a 5-minute stretch or a 60-minute full body intense HIIT workout, whatever it is. And there's yoga, there's Pilates, there's full body, upper body, lower body, arms and shoulders, HIIT classes, bar classes. There's also like running, walking. There's literally so many different things. And so whatever you're in the mood for, you can find a class for. The music's really good. The instructors are awesome. And I just love them. So hopefully this obsession continues because I know I need to continue working out. Okay, our recipe. I have perfected my Ninja Creamy chocolate ice cream. At least as of last night, I did. I have been sticking to just doing 2 spins on light ice cream instead of a light ice cream spin and then a re-spin and then a mix-in. If you just do 2 spins on light ice cream, I think it does the job better. And in between the 2 spins, you add a splash of whatever milk you're using. So chocolate Fairlife is definitely the way to go, with a little bit of pudding mix and chocolate protein powder. But if you can use whatever milk, it literally was like a Wendy's Frosty. And then I used the same method today for my smoothie bowl, and it was literally the same frosty consistency, and I'm proud of myself. They were very good. Okay, tea treat. Yesterday, Maya and I went to Barcelona Wine Bar to celebrate her birthday, and just going out to dinner somewhere like that you know is fancy, and even if it's not like crazy expensive, I mean, it can be for sure, but it's such a vibe. It's so fun. You get to dress up and just have a glass of wine, eat really good food, enjoy company. So it felt like a little treat, and it was such a great time. And also, if you've never been to Barcelona Wine Bar, you 1000% need to go. Okay, but that is the weekly report. Now let's get into the episode. So like I said at the beginning, this episode has been on my mind just because I've been gone so much recently. Like I was just in Austin for a girls' trip. Before that, I was in California and Phoenix for a while. I was in Dallas for a while. I just travel all the time. And I love traveling. This isn't an episode about complaining about traveling, but this is just about how I reset when I get home from a trip and attempt to get back into my routine. Because especially as I get into summertime, my job is nuts and crazy, and I travel all the time. If you know, you know. And so this is honestly more so of like a note to myself of how I should be approaching all of my trips before, during, and after to keep my sanity and stay in my routine, especially as I just said, like I am getting back into my Peloton workout classes, which is great, and just doing what I can to feel my best and, you know, just keep everything in line. Okay, so first we're going to talk about the pre-travel and also plugging episode 11 called Living Life Out of a Suitcase. I did an episode forever ago about kind of all of the preparation I put into going on a trip with like how do I pack, kind of what I'm doing. I guess it was kind of similar to this episode, but maybe in more detail, less detail. Honestly, I don't remember, but listen to that if you're interested. So the first part of the pre-travel that comes to mind is the packing. And I'm pretty sure I talk about it in episode 11, but just kind of the rundown. Plan your outfits. Look at how many days you're going to be gone. Are you going to go to dinner? Are you going to stay in? Are you going to go out? What's the weather like? Just plan. I do all this in my notes app with the little bubbles, so you can, like the checklist bubbles, so you can check everything off once you have it. And also once I like lay everything out, I try to remove 2 to 3 outfits because I always overpack and just know I don't need to bring 4 pairs of workout outfits because I'm not going to work out 4 days in a row. I don't need to bring 3 pairs of dinner outfits, whatever it is. Because also like you can repeat outfits. It's okay. So just pack on the light side, but also like be prepared. Mainly for weather. Like bring your airport hoodie and your clean hoodie. Bring sweatpants, bring slippers, bring like everything you need to just be comfy and cozy. And then the rest, you'll figure it out. And also realistically, wherever you're going, you can probably borrow clothes from someone or you can buy something. Another part of the pre-travel is cleaning your house before you leave. And this is so underrated. When growing up, anytime we would go on a family trip, driving to the airport or the beach or whatever it was, I vividly remember my dad would vacuum the entire house as we were getting in the car, and we would get so frustrated. Like you could have done this all day, you could have done this yesterday, like why do you need to vacuum right now? But I get it. I am literally that person now. I mean, I don't vacuum before I go on trips in the morning, like right away, because also I typically take those early morning flights, and that would just be horrible of me. But in general, the day before, within like 24 to 48 hours before I leave for a trip, I definitely make sure I have a clean space. I mean, for the most part, sometimes my dresser will, compile everything, but just having a clean room, clean sheets, you've done your laundry, the kitchen's clean, because when you get home, there is nothing better than coming home to a clean house. And it is almost a guaranteed way to eliminate stress. Another thing is just dealing with your routine before you leave. Like try and just stay in your routine before you go to town, whether that's cooking dinner or just like eating healthy, hydrating a lot, staying on top of your chores, and also getting a regular fitness routine in. And I know this is all easier said than done, especially for people who maybe don't travel as much. Like you might need to be preparing a lot more before your trip, but it'll kind of help you feel better when you're on the trip, because then you're not like, oh, I was eating bad before I left, or I haven't been working out before I left, or oh my God, I have so many chores to do. My house is dirty before I left. And so then when you get home, or so then when you're on your trip and you're eating not great, you're drinking a lot, you're not really working out, you're compiling a bunch of dirty clothes. And then when you get home, you're like, oh God, now I have to deal with all of this. So just try and stay on your routine before you leave. I mean, I think it isn't that hard to do, for me at least, but it's definitely a really good reminder to just focus on controlling what you can control. And then lastly, a little pre-travel tip is to have a list of to-dos for when you get home. This might just be a me thing. I might just be crazy, but I kind of always have an ongoing to-do list, whether it's planning a budget for the rest of my life, or doing my laundry, or washing my sheets, or my grocery list, or something as simple as like just go on a walk when you get home. But having this list of to-dos, whatever it's regarding, is very helpful, because then when you're gone, you can, for the most part, just enjoy whatever you're doing and not be worried about the things that are going on at home and the things that you need to be doing when you get home, because you have it all on a list. And then when you get home, you're going to circle back to your list and be like, okay, these are all the things I thought I needed to do. What do I actually need to do? Kind of figure out a time frame of how to get it all done. Okay, so that's the short and sweet pre-travel. And then the short and sweet during travel. Just enjoy yourself. Enjoy all the coffee, enjoy all the meals, enjoy all the drinks, enjoy the friends, the fun, whatever it is you're doing. Just enjoy yourself, and don't, I mean, I guess worry about money a little bit, but like money comes back. Just you're going to spend a lot of money when you go on a trip. Of course, you don't have to. This is not an episode about how to save money on a trip, because I don't do that. Just enjoy it. And when you're splurging on a $8 dirty chai, iced dirty chai with oat milk, and it's so good, just enjoy every sip. You can't think about how you spent $8, because that just takes all the fun away. So just enjoy it all. And regarding your routine when you're traveling, if you feel like working out, fantastic, work out. I'm not one of those people, but I walk a lot when I'm on trips, and you probably all do too, because you're exploring. You're like in Austin, we walked on the trail that's really popular. We walked all around the city. Like, it's just, walking is exercise. So don't be so hard on yourself. And then we're going to circle back to my plug of the Peloton app. No, this is not sponsored, but I really wish it was. Because the Peloton app you can do anywhere. There's also body weight classes, so you obviously don't need weights. But again, there's anything from a 10-minute to a 60-minute class. So also, if you're in a hotel and have access to a gym, or wherever you're staying has weights, whatever it is, you can definitely find ways to stay moving, and it's all guided. It's great. So when I used to stay in hotels for work, I would always go to the gym and do one of those classes, which is definitely a perk of staying in a hotel over an Airbnb. But also, Airbnbs have kitchens and like a living room, and you can just be more social. So you got to pick and choose your poisons here. And just also, don't forget to drink water while you're traveling, which you know how much I drink water and tell everyone to drink water. So I had to fit that in there. Okay, but now to the meat of this. When you get home from travel, here's kind of what I do when I get home. Do you care? Probably not, but maybe you do, or you also just love listening to this episode and you're going to listen to me talk about what I do when I get home. So here we go. So within the first 1 to 2 days is kind of when all of this falls, but realistically, I do a lot of this immediately when I get home. Again, it depends what time I land from the airport or get back from wherever I am. Like, sometimes I get back really late and I still do some of this. Sometimes I get home in the morning and I don't have time to do this. It really just depends. But overall, this all happens within about 24 hours. So when I get home, first, if Callie's in my house, obviously give her all the attention in the world, take her on a walk, do all the things so that she knows I didn't forget about her. But after that, dealing with luggage, I immediately get all of my dirty clothes out. And if it's daytime, I'll start a load of laundry. If it's nighttime, I will just set it all aside in my hamper to do as soon as possible. But I just feel like, even like if I haven't been like sweating or wet or what, it's just like normal dirty clothes, I just feel like they are marinating in the worst way in my suitcase and I have to get them out. So that's what I do. And then I like to immediately unpack. Doesn't happen every single time, but a lot of the times I do, because if I don't do it then, if I don't do all this fast enough, my next trip is likely in a few days or 1 to 2 weeks away. So if I just keep procrastinating, then it's like, oh, well, I might as well just leave all of this out for the next trip. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to look at my suitcase every 2 seconds. So this is the goal, to unpack immediately. And unpacking is one of those things that genuinely doesn't take that much time. So once you start doing it, you're like, oh, wait, that literally took 5 minutes. Like, why do I not normally do this? And then another part of my luggage and all that is my toiletries. And for some reason that I hate putting away more than my regular clothes, even though it takes half the amount of time. I don't know why, but I put my toiletries away like back in the bathroom, and then my little toiletry bag in my closet where it goes. And also anything like my water bottle, if I travel with more than one water bottle or coffee mug, whatever it is, those immediately go in the dishwasher, because I just feel like anything that touches the airport or enters the proximity of an airport is just filthy. If I'm feeling really crazy, I will wipe down my suitcase, but that's probably only happened like twice in my life, like with a Clorox wipe. Okay, and then back to that to-do list that I said you should make before you go, but maybe you don't because you're not OCD like me about lists. But I check my list and kind of see like what I need to do, what I don't really need to do. And I've also probably looked at this on the flight home, because the second I'm on an airplane, I'm like, oh, let's make a list of something, because a million ideas come to mind. I don't know why. But I also make my grocery list. And I do have an episode about how I grocery shop and plan my grocery list and all that. So I don't know what number it is, but you can circle back to that if you want more information on how I do my grocery list. But the short and sweet version is I honestly just have an ongoing list with those checklist bubbles in my notes app that I leave everything. So for example, I have my smoothie ingredients listed out, and I just check or uncheck depending on if I need it that week or that month or whatever it is, so that I don't have to like retype everything out or forget something simple like bananas, and then my week is ruined. So I go through my grocery list, plan out my meals just based off of how many days I'm going to be home. Do I already have plans? Whatever it is. Like this week I ate out 3 times because oh my God, 4. Just because I had plans with 4 people. And I'm like, wow, that is too many for me. But I was able to plan my grocery list a lot easier because I was like, oh, I'm like barely cooking at home. So that was nice. But it's good to just think about your week so you're not overbuying, underbuying, can just kind of make a plan and feel prepared for whatever the day of the week it is that you're about to get into. I also have my workout on my list, as well as some other little things. Like even if they seem so minuscule, just put it on the list, because you're going to check it off and know you're making progress, and you'll feel good. Like I feel like literally serotonin is released if I check off something on my list, whether it's putting my shoes away or unpacking my suitcase or folding laundry, like something that you're going to do regardless. Just put on the list and it'll make you feel better. But back to the workout, like I said, I'll typically just walk Cali, but if I'm feeling it, I'll do something light, whether it's 10 to 20 minutes. Oh my God, the Peloton, let's just plug it for the 5th time. Peloton has low impact workouts, which I really like. Every once in a while, if I want to like sweat and feel sore, that's not the place for these. But when you get back from a trip and you've been sitting on a plane all day, like these are perfect for them, because it's kind of like a slow way to reintroduce movement to your body after who knows what you've been doing all weekend. Okay, another part of all of this that I do when I get home from travel is clean the house. Whether it wasn't clean before or there's just areas that kind of make sense to do when you get home, like washing your sheets, which again, having clean sheets when you get home from a trip is great, but I don't typically have time for that just because of the logistics of it all. Like if you have a really early flight, you can't wash your sheets. So I don't know. I also don't have 2 sets of sheets, which I don't know. Is that a red flag? Probably. But I just have 1 set of sheets that I love so much. So I eventually wash those when I get home from a trip, typically like that next weekend. And then put your suitcase away. I know you've already put your clothes away, your laundry away. Put the suitcase away. Don't leave it in your room. At myself, I do that all the time. And then also just having a clean kitchen and a freshly stocked fridge, like you'll feel so good, and you'll feel like you're just achieving life. All the things. Just keep your house clean. This circles back to that episode I did on wellness and just having like a clean space and a clean mind, and it just really helps you, like it helps your mental health, honestly. Okay, and then back to all the wellness stuff. So like food, workouts, all that when you get back from a trip. And this is kind of the main area that I feel like people struggle with, because everything else we talked about was just like the obvious, like laundry, clothes away, clean house, get groceries, like restock, the simple things. But dealing with your wellness, I feel like it's so easy to get off track when you've been traveling, and I do literally all the time, and that's bad because I'm gone all the time. So I need to figure out how to establish this routine, which is kind of why I said this episode is a note to self for me. It might apply to you as well. Fantastic. And if it doesn't, again, this is mainly just for me. But so regarding food, when I get back, I try and drink a ton of water, obviously tea, because I probably have had a little bit too much alcohol when I'm gone. So it's good to just rehydrate, get your electrolytes back, and just kind of get back into that routine. And then regarding food, I'm always craving a salad or some form of greens. Like when I got back from Austin, I got lunch out at work that Monday, and the person I was going with was like, okay, well, what are you in the mood for? And I was like, literally a salad, and I don't know where we're going to find one, but that is the only thing I can physically eat right now. And it was really good. It hit the spot. And I'm always looking forward to getting back. Okay, not always, but I'm typically looking forward to just cooking in my kitchen, having a fresh homemade meal throughout the week. So, and that goes back to me having your grocery list. And yeah, it's not always easy to know what you're in the mood for and what you want to cook, especially when you get back from a trip, because you're feeling kind of lazy, or you're like, oh, I haven't cooked all week. Like, how am I going to know what to cook this week? But once you do kind of figure it out, I get excited typically. And again, it's always good to have staple meals saved in your notes, and those ingredients already listed out, like a salmon dinner or a certain salad you like, or a super easy Trader Joe's meal that you like, just to have those on hand and quickly, and you don't have to think about it, and you know you're going to like it. Okay, working out again. I know I just talked about this, but I had it written down, so I'm going to circle back because it ties into sleep. And so I always, when I get home, I'm like, okay, let's get back into the workout routine, like the perfect day of working out before work, having time to rinse off and coffee and walk Callie and just do all the things. But I'm always so tired after trips, whether it's because I've been out until 4 a.m. like in Austin, or because I've been working like 14-hour days like in Phoenix. And it's really hard to find balance between sleeping and getting in the perfect routine. And I just have accepted the fact that for about a week, I'm going to be tired. Like, I am someone who prioritizes sleep and loves sleep and can sleep a long time and deeply, and I'm very happy and proud of that. But I will literally be getting frustrated with myself because I'm like, okay, tomorrow's the day. I'm going to wake up at 6, get a workout in before work. But then I wake up at 7:30 and I'm like, oh, what? Like, why? I wanted to work out. I thought I was going to be able to work out, but I'm just so tired. And so I am learning to accept the fact that I am not going to work out in the morning when I get back from a trip, or probably that often, because I need sleep. But I think sleep is so much more important than working out. Like, if you have to pick one or the other, like, sleep is literally medicine for your body, but working out is just like an addition to make your body better, whereas sleep is like healing your body. I guess that's a better way to put it. So just having grace for yourself for X amount of days of just letting your body catch up on sleep, because you've probably also gone to different time zones and your body needs to adjust, and just listen to your body, and then do your workout after work or whatever your day looks like. And those are typically the days where I just walk Callie and I'm kind of like, oh, I wish I could have done more. And yeah, I could definitely make myself do all of these things, but you know, I'm just a girl. It's hard to do it all, but that's what I try to do. So this is your reminder to just sleep, get your sleep. Okay. And then kind of another little time frame. So everything I just described is within like the first 1 to 2 days, just kind of like recovering, figuring out what you need to do and getting back on track. And then the next like 3 to 7 days, this is when I feel like it's important to kind of be hard on yourself, because if you haven't gotten back into your proper workout and cooking routine, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm just taking it easy, I'm having grace with myself. But like at a certain point, I personally need to be like, okay, no, Corey, go work out, go to the grocery store, you're cooking dinner tonight, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. Like, stop being so easy on yourself. And like, yeah, you should sleep, but also like, you need enough time in the morning to not feel stressed throughout your day. And I am in a very stressful time with work, so I need to do everything I can to control my day before I go to work. So that's kind of how I operate. You may prefer to take an entire week to relax and reset, and that's totally fine. But with as much as I travel, I literally cannot afford to do that because I would be gone for a week and then home recovering for a week, and then it would be time for my next trip, and it would just be a never-ending cycle of never actually being productive and doing the things I need and want to do. So yeah, I also put in here make some sourdough bread 3 to 7 days later, because that means I am going to be grounded and at home, and because like sourdough requires time and being home, so that's like literally just like a sign to me that, oh, okay, I'm home for a little bit. There's going to be a day where I have to feed it every so often, fold the dough every so often. I don't know. I'm not actually going to make sourdough bread every time, but it, for me, is almost like a metaphor for slowing down and just relaxing for me, I guess. And then I was going through my notes just to make sure I didn't forget anything, and some little funny airport thoughts that I've had after episode 11, which this doesn't have anything to do with the reset, but I just wanted to share because it ties into this travel episode, and just some, I don't know, some food for thought, let's call it. One is that there are simply no rules in the airport. You can literally wear whatever you want. You can have alcohol at any time of the day, and you can sleep whenever and wherever. Like, think about how many times, one, you've seen someone just wearing, like, I'm no shame on Crocs, but Crocs are just the first thing that came to mind. Or just like people are wearing full on business suits, full glam hair, makeup. And I'm like, where are you going? And how are you comfortable? Also wearing jeans in the airport. No, like, no, just, I don't know what could be so important in your life, but like jeans are just not what you need to wear on a plane. And then having alcohol at any time of the day. I'm sure you guys have all seen someone drinking like a mimosa or a beer or hard liquor at 6 a.m. at a bar in an airport, and like, to each their own. But it's just kind of funny how literally the time of the day does not exist when you're in an airport. And then sleeping whenever. If you've ever walked through an airport, typically at night you will see people that like have like a canceled flight or a delayed flight, or they're just tired and they're like taking up like 5 seats or literally on the carpet, typically have a hood on. I don't know. It's just kind of funny because at the airport, like, no one talks, no one interacts. You just all are kind of doing something along the same lines, but in your own little bubble, and no one knows what's going on in anyone's bubble. All right, number 2 little funny thought that I've had is that literally everything happening in an airport is a simulation. Like, are you really telling me that everyone in an airport is going somewhere and we're all going different places at different times and for different reasons? Like, when I'm in an airport, I am either going to work, home from work, to a vacation, or home from a vacation. And I just feel like there are, I mean, how many flights are there a day? Like, there's got to be thousands. Let's Google that. Oh, okay. Just Googled it. According to the latest estimates, there are approximately 100,000 flights per day. This includes passenger, cargo, and military aircraft. Passenger alone flights are about 90,000 flights per day. That's insane. And in the US, there's about 44,000 flights. So lots of flying in the United States. And we have the most, like, the United States has the largest number of air passengers in the world. That's crazy. How many planes take off every minute? Oh my God, 9 takeoffs and landings each second. So a minute, about 270 takeoffs and landings. That's nuts. I can't even wrap my head around this, but that's like exactly my point. Like, how are there so many people that need somewhere to go? I can't, there's no way it's real. And then also, like, how is that possible? Air traffic control. Like, if there's 270 flights per minute taking off and landing, how is there room in the air? Like, what? Okay, enough of that. I can't think about it too much. And then last thing, people that aren't carrying bags with them on an airplane, I'm like, where's your stuff? Like, how are you only flying with your phone? Or people that just have like one of those like tiny little, it's like a travel size suitcase that's like literally half the size, and then they put their like briefcase on top of it. How do you fit everything in there? I wear size 11.5 to 12 shoes. One of those little baby carry-on suitcases would literally only fit my shoes. Maybe even 2 shoes. I might even be able to bring 1 shoe. So just like, where's your stuff? And then also people that travel with like an open, not even like a tote bag, like a open reusable grocery bag type thing, like a large one. That stresses me out. You know how much is going to fall out of your bag I don't know. I have so many airport thoughts and I love the airport. I genuinely do. It is the best place to people watch, be alone, not talk to anyone, and just like do whatever the hell you want to do. But I don't know. I just kind of think of some funny stuff when I'm there. And if you have other little funny airport thoughts you've had or more of what I've thought about, I know mine aren't really that unique. Please share with me. But yeah, that is all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope this episode inspires you a little bit to kind of focus on yourself and doing what you need to do and listen to your body when you get back from a trip, whether you travel a lot or not a lot, or you hope to travel more. We can do it together. We can all, stay on top of our routine, stay on top of our bodies, and just do it all. But also just remember to be easy on yourself. But thank you for listening to today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. I would love to hear from you guys. So reach out to me on Phone Eats First Pod on Instagram or Corey_in the kitchen on Instagram. Follow me if you aren't already. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a rating and a review, all the things. I don't even know if anyone has ever left me a rating or a review. I've gotten some rating and reviews, but if you haven't left me one before, please leave one. All right. I hope everyone has a great week, and we will talk soon.